Okay, hi Armin. This is give you a bit of feedback on this. So I would call it micro analysis essay, and I would put your name in the header probably. And here you need to put Ridley Scott and then the date that the film was made. As I said in the instructions I emailed you to, the film is. You should say this is a science fiction film with elements of the horror genre. And I would say here this sequence shows a superior alien engineer, or shows superior, okay, rather than based on. Okay, I think this needs to be shorter, because what you've done is you've outlined the whole sequence here, and really you should start here. So I'm going to start reading through this. So I would say here, no recognizable instruments. The soundtrack creates an almost sinister, evil atmosphere. Use this soundtrack to, in a way, use this soundtrack of almost holy music to suggest how an ancient race once lived before man. Showing them in robes gives them a religious appearance, the appearance of religious people, something like that. Within this sequence, not Prometheus, suggests they are dead or dying, as the deceased are usually very pale. Now look, if you're saying in this scene, why don't you show us, is this the over-shoulder shot you're talking about? You could say in screenshot 1, maybe. Mise en scène is used to suggest a primeval world, a primitive place. Instead of hopping, I would say cutting. I think we do see the physical attributes of the engineers, don't we? You've already said he's very pale, so take that out. Yeah, the black goo could be seen to represent death. This could be symbolic of what the engineer is about to do. You've already used foreshadow. He's called Ridley Scott, not Scott Ridley. Who is about to die knowingly, not whom. I'm just going to pause this and make sure I'm recording. Yeah, okay. Scott, then, you can refer to him as Scott. The action of the engineers who have order and respect shows that they are civilized beings rather than well civilized. So Scott, leave out Ridley. Scott never films the engineer. I would say Scott always films the engineer from a tilted or sideways angle. This use of editing, cinematography, this use of cinematography, it is really, conceals a part of the engineer whenever we conceals a part of the engineer, which gives an air of mystery, something like that. These just look like notes. They don't look like part of what you're writing, so you need to do something with them. Does it really zoom into the engineer's arm? Is there a zoom shot? A zoom is used then, rather than editing is used. A close-up of what? You can't have a close-up of a whole... Oh, I see, of the arm. Okay. Do we zoom into a close-up or do we cut to a close-up? You need to be clear about that. Editing isn't crisp and clear. Now, this is special effects, isn't it? It's not zooming. Special effects are used to take the audience into the engineer's apostrophe bloodstream, showing a representation of his DNA. During this sequence, we see the DNA corrupted by, is it the disease or the potion, and falling apart. Now, we see his skin going, I want to know shots, okay? There is a close shot, there is something like that. Do we zoom out or do we cut? The audience see that half the alien skull is missing. This is very poetic, this sentence, Armand, but describe the shot. Why don't you put another screenshot in there? And you need to describe this shot as well. Okay, what does this look like? Don't say when he falls, say in this shot, when we see the alien, or in this shot, a medium shot shows the alien. An over the head shot, isn't it an over the head shot? Something like that. I just want you to be writing more about the technical aspects of it. So try and follow what I'm asking you to do in terms of, so 1114. We could do with some more words, and I think what will work well for you, Armin, is to label these screenshots and use them to tag into your description. So if you have screenshot 1, screenshot 2, whatever it might be, that would be my advice. At the moment, it is probably just in the low Ds, partly because you haven't analysed enough of the technical stuff, and partly because you need to get your writing a little bit